Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Way of the Brush with me, your host, Kris, aka the Name Butcher, aka Hey You Get Off My Lawn, aka Kris, you're being creepy again. Way of the Brush, the most informative 120 minutes on the internet on the wargaming lifestyle. We'll talk about painting, terrain, conversions, and anything under the sun. Usually we delve into a lot of painting talk as well as a lot of what's under the sun, meaning no topics are barred. We'll talk about anything and everything. So, if you're watching this live, you can ask your questions in the chat, whichever direction it might be in for you. And of course, if you're watching this after the fact, you can always submit your questions to Kris at wayofthebrush.com. It's in the description below, as well as a link to wayofthebrush.com. Central hub of all this silliness has links to all the social medias, as well as t-shirts. Of course, also you might notice on this video, the t-shirts, all the videos now, I have all my t-shirts, well, not all the t-shirts, but a select few of the t-shirts available, so you can purchase there as well. You don't have to go off to Way of the Brush. You can actually just purchase right down below, and you know you're helping me out a great deal. And of course, if you purchase yourself a shirt, send a picture of yourself in your shirt, and I will add it to the Monkey Shrine, which is also at wayofthebrush.com, as well as a link for Patreon. Huge thank you to all my patrons. Without their support, these videos and this channel would cease to exist, and we don't want that, do we? I don't know. Maybe. So a huge thank you to all my patrons. And if, you're considering Patreon support, there are varying tiers of support. And, pick whatever makes sense to you. And a huge thank you to everybody who does. If you're not able to support monetarily, i.e. money, you can help me out a great deal by thumbing up the video, liking, following, subscribing, sharing, and all of that social stuff with videos. I don't know. It all appeals to the algorithm god, apparently. So, all it takes is a couple clicks of a button. You're helping me out a great deal. And a huge thank you to everybody who does that. And of course, speaking of thank yous, we always say thank you to Carl, a.k.a. Guymere Alfer, a.k.a. Beer and Blood Bowl. That's his YouTube channel. Check him out. If you love yourself some beer and you love yourself some Blood Bowl, which I do. We always take the time to thank Carl, even though he is no longer with us, for taking the time out of his busy day to create the email jingles that play before the email segment of the show. So, always much love to Carl. And of course, speaking of love, much love to my baby brother Evan for, being such an awesome guy. And because he created the intro, outro music that plays in the beginning and end of the show. So always much love to him. And of course, if you're into rare comics, EB Comics, in the description below, he's got your hookup on the rare comics, rare, obscure things from way back in the day. Maybe you have that collection, you go, oh, you know what, I'm missing that number, whatever it is. And, he might have the hookup. He's like that white van driving around. He's got a trench coat. He opens up his coat. Need a comic. He doesn't sound like that, but he kind of does. But not really. But kind of. Where the heck am I here? Who's joining us so far? I can see Evan Flows. Up, everybody. Mike Grimshaw. Good morning, or good afternoon, Kris and Monkeys. Just listening why I fixed some unfortunately broken models. Oh, some unfortunately broken models? Or fortunately broken models? Yeah, well, you gotta fix them, right? Now, I'm sure you've heard me harp on many, many times, when assembling your models, do not use super glue if they are styrene plastic, if they're entirely styrene plastic. Which a lot of models, especially a lot of us who game on the, Games Workshop side of things, a lot of 40K and Age of Sigmar and Blood Bowl and Necromunda, and, all the models are styrene plastic. They've obviously made that shift away from, resin, pewter, fine cast, which is resin, where you still would need super glue. But yeah, if you're using super glue to glue entirely plastic kits together, it's unnecessary, and in fact, you're not getting the strongest bond possible. You should be using plastic cement, the stuff that really smells, and it's like really thin, and it melts the plastic. Basically, it's like liquid welding, and that's really one of the best ways to glue your plastic models. If you're putting together pewter or resin, or resin and pewter, or pewter and plastic, and pewter and resin, and whatever, then yes, CA glue is still your best option. Although you could use, two-part epoxy, or, but those take a long time to set up, whereas CA glue, little dab, activator, bang, done, right? But yeah, Definitely. Fix those models. Or are you saying you're fixing the models like how we go and we get our doggy fixed and our cat fixed, right? Is that what you mean? You're fixing, like you're getting rid of all the crotches on your Space Marines? I don't know who's doing that. Who's getting rid of the crotches out of their Space Marine? And that begs the question, can Space Marines have crotchless armor? Can there be crotchless armor? Can we get crotchless armor on Space Marines? Is that something that is on everybody's wish list? Crotchless armor on Space Marines? I think we can. I think, like, especially for, a faction like Noise Marines, I think they might be running around with crotchless armor. David Vega, good morning, Kris and Monkeys, good morning. George Hintz over on Twitch, hi. Grim y'all, Grim y'all, howdy y'all, howdy Grim. Sir Peanut Butter, morning Kris and Peeps, morning. Daniel Horton, hey, how everyone doing? Ash said you and Owen are doing something on his channel, so you started filming it. No, I've not talked to Ash. But yeah, I mean, we always have things in the works. I mean, like, we have to get back to our campaign. It's been like, I think it's going on almost a year since we started filming our Dark Uprising campaign. I recently made a video updating patrons regards to, because I had purchased a bunch of Dark Uprising stuff, and yeah, I recently made a post about that. It's a big project I have in mind. Big, huge. No fucks given. I'm going to try and finish this dreadnought I sent you a picture of by the time it's email time. Cool. Yes, send it in. Daniel Horton, what do you think of new Mandalorian that came out Friday? And also, you planning on spending big on Black Friday at all? The last part first. Black Friday, no. I usually don't go in for big sales. Unless, for like a new TV or anything like that. But we just got a new TV like last year before. And, it's unnecessary. No. I mean, like, sometimes, okay, first of all, like, if I was made of money, sure, I'd be buying all sorts of crazy crap. But I'm not made of money. And, as I said in the beginning, I rely entirely on Patreon support. So, if that was like, if I had 5,000 patrons, well then, maybe we'd go a little hog wild, but I don't, so it's not happening. But that's okay. I really try and resist these consumer-based urges and, the Black Friday thing. I think Black Friday's got to go away. I mean, if you want to have a big sale, then have a big sale. It doesn't, especially in previous years when, Black Friday, always, people fighting over, this or that, and it's ridiculous. It's sad and ridiculous. But yeah, I usually don't get fired up. I mean, unless, of course, I see a deal, and then it's like, oh, well, that's a deal. Because unfortunately, I mean, I'm the kind of person that if I see a deal, then I got to go for it because, I made a promise to myself a long time ago not to pass up a good deal when I saw one. And especially if I had the resources to, or if I had whatever means to make that deal happen, then, I had felt an obligation to, make that happen, right? As far as the new Mandalorian episode that came out Friday, I loved it. It was great. I mean, Mandalorian is not high sci-fi. It's not, it's not layers and layers of character development and, deep storytelling, metaphors, and, social commentary and any of those things. It's just fun, as Star Wars tends to be. And of course, it is the problem with Star Wars is the fans. The fans are the problem. And, toxic fandom is a thing. And, and even like the last episode, previous one, where they're robbing the ship, that one, like, I'm stuttering now. That episode is like the classic Western train robbery. what's not to love? Again, The Mandalorian is a Western. And, you know, it's a sci-fi Western, which is kind of in part what A New Hope was kind of like. It was, you know, obviously it was the hero's journey, but in such a generic sense. It's, again, if you're looking for really deep storytelling, storylines within storylines within storylines, Star Wars really isn't the place for that. Star Wars is more action, pew pew, you know. And, you know, if you are coming into it thinking that it's some sort of highbrow social commentary, you know, addressing social issues and things of that nature, you're going to have to dig pretty damn deep to try and excavate that out of the story of Star Wars, because it's really not there. I mean, even in the prequels, you know, with the episodes 1 to 3, I mean, that kind of addresses, you know, obviously, you know, a loss of democracy, but that's about as deep as it gets. It's pretty surface level. It's not very deep. So, but I enjoy Mandalorian. I love Mandalorian. Mandalorian's great. It's a lot of fun. And of course, the Baby Yoda. I mean, what's not to love about Baby Yoda? In the beginning of that episode was hilarious. It was hilarious. You know, it's kind of one of those things that just kind of a bad father. It's just a bad father. Mike Grimshaw. I built them and let them sit for a couple days to dry before I put them in my case. They're all plastic, and I used plastic glue, but the joins on one model were small and the weapon on one was very thin. Yeah, that also can be the way you pack them as well, right? And if there's a lot of weight on that small little delicate part, yeah, it doesn't take much. Hell, I've even assembled models that had little delicate parts and broke them, and it's like, oh, frick. What was I? I was just putting together, because I picked up Blood Bowl season 2, and I was putting together Varric Ghoul-Chewer here, and what was it? It was like a strap on one of his things, and I bent it somehow. I bent it, but now, I mean, he's all, you know, glued together. I mean, I can drop him. Hear that? That's me dropping him. So, yeah, it's all good. But yeah, definitely use plastic cement. I don't know if I've done tutorials recently on my process. I know in like getting projects done, I've demonstrated how I assemble plastic kits together. Really, the big one is clean the contact points off, score those areas, use plastic cement, give them plenty of time to cure, and it's a solid bond. The plastic melts to the other plastic, and it's a weld. It's a weld, and you know, we use welding all over the place to secure metal together, and our tiny little plastic models, you know, it's just going to have a stronger bond. Mike Grimshaw, I built them and let them sit a couple days before. I already read that. I pulled them out yesterday to possibly get them ready for priming, and found that one model snapped at all 3 points. Its joins to the wall it sits on now. I'm just pinning it. Right. Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, if they're really fragile little connecty points, then yeah, it's kind of a pain in the ass. David Vaughn, only sisters have crotchless armor. Do sisters have crotchless armor? They got loincloths. I don't know if that constitutes crotchless. I mean, I imagine they have some sort of cod piece there, right? Evan Belleau, episode 323. Spay and neuter your space wolves. Yeah, have them spayed, definitely. Ghost of Starman Deluxe. I'm late. Hi, Monkeys and Kris. Hi. TH. Woohoo. Monkey time. Woo. Ghost of Starman Deluxe. Watch the Warhammer preview and this week's Mandalorian episode today. Big hype. Yeah, Mandalorian. I enjoyed it. I just enjoy Mandalorian. It's a lot of fun. The Warhammer preview, I missed that this morning. I was into other stuff and I did not catch it this morning. But I seen the the reveals on the Twitters and Instagrams, and I saw all that stuff. And what the hell's his name? What the hell is his name? You know the guy. The guy. The Slanish Prince duder thing. Anyway, yeah, he gets a model now. Oh, I guess I don't have it, or I guess they haven't updated their site for it. It's on the social medias, right? It's all on the social medias. The medias. The social of medias. But yeah, Yeah, Sigvold. Thank you. No fucks. Yeah, it was kind of cool. Van Sar get little jet, like turbo sled things, I guess. I don't know. What are they doing with Necromunda where they have these flying units? We had the Orlocks with jetpacks, and now we have Van Sar with flying disc things. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure about all this. Are they playing into the the Sector Mechanicus type of gameplay? Because I mean, like, having the little flying disky things in the hallways when you're playing Zone Mortalis, that doesn't make a lot of sense. It kind of takes you out of it visually. That they're just skimming around in the hallways. Like, come on. Everybody knows you don't ride your skateboard in the hall. But yeah, I saw some of that stuff. The new campaign with Nurgle and Mechanicus. That sounds fun. I like the little animation thing. Sets up the story for it. That's pretty cool. Zandrate actually remembered to tune in today. Well, welcome, Mike. TH, a lot of retailers have 20% off the new Blood Bowl that drops on Black Friday. I couldn't resist. Yeah, you may as well. May as well. I like Black. I got Blood Bowl. I got mine. Where is it? It's right here. Wait. It's a heavy box, too. Woof. Yeah, I got mines. I got mine. A lot of fun. Started putting together the orcs. I got one sprue already assembled and Vareg assembled. I'll get them all assembled. I'm probably not. I may or may not show some tutorials on them. I absolutely love this little goblin. This little guy here. You guys can't see him, but if you go to the pictures, it's a little guy. He's got kind of like the armor up by his head, and he's got both his hands up like that. Looks like he's in like a kung fu stance. As soon as I saw that little guy, I was like, oh my god, I like this guy in a plushie. Like, come on. Where are these goddamn plushies? God damn it. Grimjaw, in my area, local retail started having Black Friday over several days rather than only Friday. The numbers supported this, so it's not really Black Friday anymore for some local business. No, it's not. Right? Black Friday was like a one-day event. Like, oh, we're going to have some sales. You're going to come in, spend some money. This one day, we're having deals out the ass. We're going to have deals all over the place. Brand new TV, 100-inch. We're giving away for $500, right? Like that kind of stuff. And it's not that anymore. And especially with the advent of more online shopping, the Black Friday thing is unnecessary now. It's not necessary. And it can go away. Black Friday can go away. It's not necessary. Ghost of Starman Deluxe. Like this week's episode a lot more than last week's. Probably because I haven't seen Clone Wars, though. You haven't seen Clone Wars? Come on, man. What kind of nerd are you? You haven't seen Clone Wars. Clone Wars is fun. I didn't realize it, though. Oh, yeah, spoiler. That who they get to play the character, she actually voiced the character in Clone Wars. I didn't know that. So, yeah, I thought that was really cool. Sorry, spoiler, but come on, if you guys aren't keeping up, and I mean, we're not all watching Mandalorian. We can't be friends. Daniel Horton, Owen and Ash posted a video of them doing the 40K Crusade. Owen, I keep missing that E, but using his Necrons, Ash using his Ultramarines, and they said you meant to be also included in the Crusade because he said it in his video. Sure. I don't watch a lot of wargaming videos, so I don't, I'll go through whenever Ash posts something. I say, oh yeah, okay, I'll give it the thumbs up and stuff like that, and but I don't really watch the videos, so I don't really know what's going on in them. I mean, if Ash, if it was really important, he would have messaged me by now. But it can't be terribly important. So, and the thing is that a lot of Ontario right now is going back into lockdown, especially Toronto. Toronto's going back into lockdown. So, because people are just not taking things seriously, and it's ruining everything for everybody else, right? So, No fucks given. Chico Baby Yoda versus Dendy rap battle. Shit's hilarious. Dendy? I don't know what that is. Danny Horton, are you playing your Eldar and Crusade Ash is doing? Fuck, I don't know, dude. Probably, because I only have the 140k armor. Well, I got Necrons now, I suppose, but Owen's been using the Necrons, so yeah, I'll go with my Eldar. I'll kick it Eldar school. No, Eldari school now, I guess is what it is. Eldari. Grim, on more modeling related note, I might have a buddy join the server soon. He recently decided to get into 40k to build models on a small scale at the moment. Cool. Yeah. Hey, the Discord's all, it's for everybody, right? I mean, it's where we get to share information, share what we're working on, share technique, share ideas, right? And maybe have a laugh. That's the whole point of the Discord. That's it. And have a conversation about whatever, right? It's kind of like this show, but not. It's all text. No fucks given. Looks fucking hot. I want to use him for Blood Angel's captain. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Slap the wings on him instead of the cape. Give him a big Blood Angel head instead of the big flowy hair. Or you could even give him big flowy hair, sure. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, if you do it, send me pics. Ghost Starman Deluxe. Those new Grav Skimmer Duders for Vansar have me wanting to make some kind of Necromunda guard army with a bunch of different clans models. Oh, yeah. You mean, okay, like taking Necromunda gangs and then making an Imperial Guard force out of them? Or making Imperial Guard but making them look like, various houses? Like for Necromunda. Are you wanting to do them for Necromunda or are you wanting to do them for Imperial Guard? Now, that's either way, both would be fun ideas and would be good. The thing is, though, is I think the new Necromunda models... Do I have a Necromunda model run? No, I do not. The new Necromunda models, for humans, I think they're bigger than regular humans. Like Imperial Guard would be tiny in comparison to them. The scale for humans is different in Necromunda. So, if you did Imperial Guard, your human force would be taller than the rest of your Imperial Guard. I think. God damn it. Do I have... I thought I had a Vansar sitting around. Oh, I got an S-shirt right here. Busting into Skeletor here. And then let's grab... Do I have an Imperial Guard? Oh, survey says... Nope. Let's do... Okay, here. Let's do one of these. Let's do this Space Marine. So this classic Space Marine. I got to see how my framing is actually here. Hold on. So here's an Escher. And here is a Chaos Space Marine. And you can see... I'll try to line these bases up right. There we go. You can see she's almost a head taller than the Space Marine. So she's kind of big. And as far as Imperial Guard, I don't have an Imperial Guard model. I thought I might have an Imperial Guard model, but I don't. But the classic Space Marine, though, Imperial Guard and Space Marines, they're all almost about this same size, right? So, oh, jeez, dropping stuff now. Butterfingers. I had it. I think they're in one of those boxes over there. I got a bunch of Imperial Guard. Anyway. But yeah, doing an Imperial Guard force, like taking the Necromunda gangs and then making them look like, Imperial Guard with like, the flak jackets and everything like that. I think that would be cool. That would be cool. Do that. And send pics. No fucks given. Vansar looks like they acquired Warp Spider helmets and Drukhari Talon Rider things. Yeah, they look like the Hellions, the Hellion Riders. That's the Dark Eldar Hellions, the guys that ride around in little green goblin skimmer things. And Warp Spider helmets, yeah, they kind of look like Warp Spider helmets. The lore is that the Vansar have the best technology, right? They're the guys who have the tech. Why they aren't more Mechanicus-like, given the lore of the universe? Because everybody who deals in technology really should be going through the Mechanicus, right? Because they got that on lockdown kind of thing, right? Anybody who's developing technology, they have to be affiliated with the Mechanicus, right? And Van Saar seems like they're skirting the edges of that, which is interesting. I mean, you can tell interesting stories. I mean, again, we treat 40k lore rather black and white when really it is, it is more fun to play within the gray areas of it. Like what if Van Saar is outside of Mechanicus and they're developing brand new technology and they have access to some ancient, information that they have been holding on to because, well, they're making massive profit from it, right? And, again, it's just taking an interesting look at it rather than always being so, no, technology's all in the hands of Mechanicus, Space Marines are this, and Sisters Battle are this, and Eldar are this, and Chaos is this, you know what I mean? Like, when it's more fun to play within, well, what happens at the edges of these things, and, when it's really frayed and gray. Ghost Starman Deluxe. The Jews zooming around on those things reminds me of the scene in Attack of the Clones where Anakin and Obi-Wan go after the assassin. Kinda, yeah. Xandre, printing up some custom goblin team for Blood Bowl. Looking forward to the new box. Yeah. The new goblins, they're pretty darn big. I mean, if you're printing up goblins, I mean, I'm sure you already have for scale, but they're big. They're bigger than regular gobos. I like this guy. He's balancing on his hand. He's doing some capoeira. I like that. That's fun. Anyway, the new orcs, though, lots of fun. I like them. I like big thick dudes. Anyway, but yeah, but they're black orcs, so they're supposed to be huge, right? Yeah, they're fun. And I'm looking forward to getting the humans together. That'll be fun. It'll be lots of fun. Ebb and flow. This season of Jackass, we traveled to Necromunda to try out some grab skimmers in the Underhive, and hijinks ensue. Grim, I think the upcoming campaign is proper since the last game I played had my AdMech go up against a Nurgle army. It was a sad day for my army, other than my Dakabots. They shined. Everything else died. Yeah, I'd imagine Mechanicus having a tough time against Nurgle. I mean, Nurgle is, like, at least traditionally, I mean, from what I recall, it's been a long time since, well, I faced Nurgle at a tournament once, 2 years ago. The last time I played against Nurgle. But anyway, Nurgle, like, is the hardest Marines. Just from the fact that they have a +1 toughness, right? I'm pretty sure they still get that +1 toughness, right? They still get a toughness 5. That makes them the hardest mofos around. And the fact that, everything's up close, well, because you're tougher, you can move up. You got great armor, and then, of course, all sorts of crazy death, vomit, spitty stuff, right? So, Nurgle, I mean, and of course, Nurgle is my patron god. Although, since Dark Uprising, I have been praying to the corpse god, or not the corpse god, the god of blood and sinew, which is Khorne. Fire Drake 18. Hello, Kris and Monkeys. Sorry, just to pop in and go, but I just sent an email to you. Hopefully you got it. Did I get it? Have I? Hansel. Sorry, I gotta look around my stuff here. I got last one I got was from No Fucks. I got Legion and T. Oh yeah, T. Right? That's who. Is that what you said? Frederick? Anyway, yeah. It was Pixel Blood Bowl humans. Taste the human. Sorry. I'm trying to read all these things here. We got a few emails to go through today, so we've got lots of stuff to cover. I do want to try and stay within our 120-minute projected time today, so hopefully we don't go off on too many rants. Ghost Starman Deluxe, can you imagine a Commissar conversion based on one of the Khorne Necromunda duders? Wouldn't be the most lore friendly, but it'd kick ass. Like a Commissar with like the Corpse Grinder helmet? Be scary. Sure. I mean, I guess. I'm just trying to visualize it. I mean, like, he's kind of clean, like a regular Commissar. Am I reading that right? Khorne Necromunda duders. Yeah, that's the corpse grinders. But a commissar? Sure. Just a big scary skull mask? Sure. Now, those heads on the corpse grinders, I mean, you can slap them on Space Marines, Chaos Marines. That'd be cool, right? Even the corpse grinders glaives, slap those on Khorne Berserkers. They fit right in. Well, essentially, that's what they are, right? I mean, the corpse grinders are essentially just minimal armored Khorne Berserkers. That's really kind of what they are. No fucks given. They're actually 32 mil scale. The Palatines are big as Primaris Marines. Are they the same size? I don't have any assembled yet, and I haven't really compared them. Primaris are pretty darn big. I like Primaris Marines. I know I've said that many times before, but I like Primaris. I like them. And I can say that I like them because I don't really have any preference towards Space Marines, even older Space Marines. Although, Stern Guard. Are Stern Guard gone? Like, are they not going to get a Primaris version? Or are the Shield Brethren? Those new guys with the big shields. Or are those guys supposed to be like Stern Guard? Where they're like battle-hardened veterans? I don't know. You tell me. I don't know. I'm not up on all of the lore. But yeah. Ghost of Starman, maybe some Ambot-based Sentinels, Ogrins made with Servitor Ogrin kits, head swaps for vehicle commanders, and then some basic conversions on the regular gang members to use as normal guardsmen. Fortunately, I'm not much bothered about scale. Yeah, true. Yeah, why not? Use the Servitor Ogrins as your Ogrin core, Ambots as your Sentinels. Sure, yeah, you can totally do that. I mean, and then paint them up kind of in camo patterns or like Imperial Guard and make them kind of uniform looking or all junky like Necromunda stuff. You could also do that. Ambots really are not that big though. They're only about the size of an ogre. I mean, like, this guy here is about the same size as an Ambot. So an Ambot's not huge. Sentinels are kind of big, right? They're kind of tall. So, yeah. Ambots are not that big. They're more ogre-sized. That's still pretty big, but... Ghost of Starman, they said in the preview that basically the Vansar are either hiding their fancy tech from the AdMech or they're using the stuff the AdMech haven't approved for official use yet, or both. Yeah, that's more interesting. That's more interesting because, obviously you can tell a story where, obviously the AdMech want to intervene in House Vansar and, what would happen to that? Would the AdMech go for overt force, or would they try and infiltrate, or and would House Vansar defend themselves, or would they try and rally the entire hive to their aid, where the entire hive is repelling the AdMech? All sorts of ways you can tell a story from that, right? No fucks given. Mechanicus doesn't create; they just maintain. It's why they seek out the STCs, the STDs. It's heresy to modify or create things not coming from the machine god. Yeah, exactly, right? And so, like, obviously, you have room to tell an interesting story there. About dogma versus discovery, right? And vice versa. The Hooligan Bear. I hope GW give the Ratskins an update for Necromunda. I don't know if they will. I would like to. I would like it. I would totally pick up a Ratskin gang. But it's hard to say because, I think if they were going to do it, they might do it in another release. So if they ever do another big box release, they might do it there where you'll have, say, it's more Underhive type stuff, right? It's more of the sump, because that's where all, like, Ratskins came from, right? Is the sump, the very bottom of the hive. And that was where the Redemptionists were, the Scavies, and Spires? The Spires. That's another one they can bring back, right? Is the Spires. And especially because in the old Necromunda book, the spires, wait, like, because, like, when Necromunda first came out, it was the spires, or, well, when Outlanders came out, the expansion for Necromunda, the spires were introduced. The spires are basically the offspring of nobility in the upper portion of the hive, and they come down through the hive and prove themselves. And they don't need any gang territory or anything like that, and the suit provides them with everything they need. This is the old lore. I don't know how they would work a new lore, but they come down and they prove themselves, so that, they basically come down and just kill a bunch of people. And because, in Necromunda, murders, life is pretty cheap, right? And the suits were these super advanced things. And it's like, well, it kind of falls, even when Necromunda came out, which was at the peak of 2nd edition, it kind of went against the established lore of 40k, where, there's really no new technologies, no super advanced technologies. So where did these nobility get these special suits, right? And it wasn't until Codex Tau, the first Tau Codex, because the Tau came long after. And in the Tau Codex, there's a glossary at the back. And you saw the names of those suits in Tau. The Ors, the Jakara, the Yeld, and I can't remember. Oh, Malkadon, or Malkador, something like that. Those were in the Tau glossary. Those were Tau words. And those were the words that were used for the suits for the spires. So the spires were using Tau technology. And of course, it alludes to where the Tau, was this a way for the Tau to gauge humans, to see what humans can do? And, you know what I mean? Because guaranteed the Tau had those suits recording information and then sending that information back to the Tau Empire kind of thing, right? And so it's kind of an espionage kind of thing. And it was just kind of fun how they basically introduced something new, but fit it in to the greater Warhammer 40,000 universe and make it already feel like it's established. And because you had those crazy words from Necromunda, and like, well, where did that come from, right? Well, what the hell does this crazy ass word mean? Now, I realize that oftentimes when the game designers and the writers are making up names for stuff in Warhammer 40,000, they often borrow from other languages and cultures, stuff like that. And, whatever. It is what it is. And, and of course, Tau is heavily influenced by other things. And, yeah, so it was just kind of fun that the spires in Necromunda, their youth would come down and they're wearing Tau armor suits. And of course the suits didn't really look Tau, but they looked more advanced than regular like 40k stuff, like the Ors suit, which was like this big kind of like Hulkbuster type of armor, and he had big Gatling guns on his arms, and you know what I mean, like, but it had like rounded curves to it, and it was like a power armor suit, but it was different. And yeah, and of course Ors is a Tau word for like powerful or something. Do I have my Tau Codex, my old Tau Codex? Damn, I think I do. Hold on. Let me grab my old Tau Codex. Oh, I might knock over my lightsaber here. Hold on here. Oh. Codex Tau. Yeah, so this is the old one, Tau Codex. Oop, jeez, kicking all sorts of stuff now. Oh, just grab my lightsaber. Get that off the floor. Yeah, so at the back of the book, where they have the seps and stuff like that. And anybody who's played Tau since this edition, you already know this shit. But yeah, so like there's a thoughts on the Tau language, and then back here they have the Tau word, and then best translation. And so like Jakara, which was the sword spire, it means mirror, because it had because the suit could reflect. It also had a shield that could deflect laser bolts or something like that. Where's the other one here? Malkador, spider. Yeah, auras. Powerful. That's what it means. Powerful. And then... what was the other one? Oh, yelled. Yeah, yelled. Aircast name for a particularly gifted pilot. Or literal translation, winged one. I thought that was kind of cool. You know, and this was Necromunda was mid-90s. And this book is what? Early 2000s? 2001 is when this one came out. It's just a lot of fun. I like that kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff I like it within 40K, where you have these mysteries within it. And I don't like when, you know, they put out a new book with some established lore or they're retconning things, and then they explain away all the mystery on what things do, or, you know what I mean? Because when they do that, they limit what said thing can do or can be or what it can mean. And especially when you're talking about something that's fantasy, because 40K is fantasy. You know, like, for example, like the Necron living metal. Well, what precisely is it? Well, we don't know. And that's fine. Because if it's like an actual metal, like liquid, or if it's solid, or if it's like little nanobots, or, you know what I mean? Like, what is it? We don't know. And it's a mystery. And so, because again, well, the Necrons are this super advanced race that, you know, their technology would just be mystical to everybody else. And in fact, a lot of things about the Necrons really should be told from that kind of perspective, that their technology essentially looks like magic to everybody else because they're millions of years old. Their technology is far beyond everybody else. I mean, Necrons, at least from what I can see from the lore, they have access to faster than light travel. They don't need to go to warp space. They can travel faster than light, right? So there's all these things. And, you know, and then just leave it just as that. You know, I mean, they don't have to explain how, you know, the Necrons can travel faster than light, because it's not necessary. You know, they just can, because they're super advanced. And that's how we understand something that would be super advanced, is well outside of our own abilities to do, right? And of course, you know, their guns would just have to be crazy. And, you know what I mean? Like, and it allows you to play within themes for, you know, like Necrons and super advanced stuff to look like magic. And especially if they brought back old ones, or Slan and the Zotes, right? Their technology should look magical and mystical and crazy, and, you know what I mean? And it should look like, you know, some crazy ass stuff, because, you know, it would be, because, you know, they always say, like, somebody from 40,000 years from now coming to our day, we should look at their technology like magical. But realistically, we kind of don't, because we kind of pretty much understand what human tech is like, right? And versus like somebody who today, 2020, going to, you know, 1300, our technology today would look like magic to them, right? The same kind of premise. I can't remember what that's called, but there is a term for that. Kevin Cabal, any reason at all, will whip out the lightsaber. You're freaking right, it will. And I have something coming. I pre-ordered something a while ago, months ago, and I've been waiting at my doorstep for it. And it is Star Wars related. And I've just been waiting by the door. You know the meme of Pablo Escobar? He's sitting on the swing and he's like waiting. That's me. I'm waiting. But it is Star Wars related. I'm gonna end up knocking something over. Better knock that off. Anywho. Sheldon Sawyer. Hi, Uncle. It's Corbin. Hi, Corby. Darth Corby. Corbius. Darth Corbius. Habeas Corpus. I miss you so much, Uncle. Well, thank you. And I also know that my other nephew, Solomon. Hi, Solomon. Watches, because apparently your mommy sent a picture, posted that you're sitting there watching me on the TV, and I'm kind of like, I don't know if my nephew should be watching this. I'm pretty sure, this is both to my sister and my sister-in-law, I'm pretty sure I have this show age restricted. And, yeah, WTF. WTF. What is going on here? Matthias Bretter. Hi, Kris. Is using alien technology not heresy in its own right? Well, in 40,000? Yeah. Warhammer 40,000? Yeah. The Imperium and Mechanicus. Yeah, they well, I guess Mechanicus uses alien technology, right? Because they're always studying it. Whereas Inquisitors are at risk of heresy. But everybody else, yeah, you're not supposed to be using that stuff, right? And yeah, I mean, yeah, you run the risk of heresy using alien technology. But I mean, we're talking about, the aristocracy of Necromunda, who are providing these special suits, who may have, they have worn, because the way it made it sound was that it was like this was a rite of passage. So it had been around for a while that, they were doing this and providing these suits for, the nobility. Or maybe it was, the first time they were giving it a try. Who knows? But it's not really explained. It doesn't really have to be explained because it's a mystery, because it's, again, why are these humans running around with this Tau technology, right? And it was just fun. It's just one of those things that's really fun, and it sparks the imagination as to what's going on, because like aside from like the logistics of it, okay, like if it was a generational thing, well, Necromunda has been around for like 30,000 years. So Tau, we know from the lore of Tau, we know they're only like 6,000 years old, right? And of course, we know, like on the galactic map, where Necromunda is and like where the Tau Empire is, it's pretty far, And how did it get there? Or was it in fact something like a rogue trader who acquired these suits? And maybe the suits were pre-Tau Empire, right? The Tau were, just making these suits. They were just getting really kind of technically advanced, and their technology earlier would have still rivaled the Imperium, and say like 2,000-3,000 years beforehand, right? And a rogue trader encountered the Tau and said, "Oh, these are some kick-ass looking trinkets and suits and stuff. I'll buy them." And then, of course, he makes his way back to Necromunda, and he goes, "Oh, well, I've got these suits here," and he's going to sell them for like a shit ton of money to the nobility of Necromunda. And of course, the nobility goes, "Oh, well, these are pretty cool. It'll be, let's, the son, the father is looking at the kids, going, you guys have to prove yourselves to rule Necromunda. Well, put on these suits, go down to the bottom of the hive, and if you can survive there, and come back, you earn your place in society because of dumb rules, right? Because of made up bullshit rules." So, it's that kind of thing. I mean, like, it's just fun. It's just fun fantasy kind of ideas, and Warhammer 40,000 used to be full of that kind of stuff. It used to be full of it. It's still full of it, but they explain everything away now, and it's kind of just It's disappointing. It's disappointing when they do that kind of stuff. Sheldon Suter. Uncle Dustin said, "What up, brother? What up, brother?" Oh, you're sitting there with Uncle Dustin? Okay. Hi, Dust. Oh, man. I can just see you guys sitting in the living room, and my face is on the TV right now, isn't it? Or are you guys watching on a tablet or something? Hopefully you're watching tablet. You're not watching a big screen with my face, because my God, man. My God. That's heresy. That is heresy. Chillquat. What the hell's that? Chillcat? What's a chillcat? Some sort of emoji. I don't know what that is. I assumed you're trying to put in some sort of emoji. I don't know. Oh, I see now. It's a little cat in a box. It's a candle box. Cool. Very cool. He said, hi, Nietzsche. Have a good stream. Well, thank you. Matthias Bretter? Yeah, I agree. Leaving some mystery in adds to the story for me. Trying to explain everything is like taking out some of your imagination, I guess. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Right? Like, in Star Wars. Okay, we're going to go back to Star Wars again. In Star Wars, do they explain how things work? Do they feel it necessary to explain how things work? No, they don't. They don't explain. It's not like Star Trek. Star Trek, has that technobabble, right? And because Star Trek likes to, kind of ground itself in reality. Because, Star Trek is taking place in our universe, in our timeline, I should say. And it's kind of like, making a logical leap 400 years in the future and where humanity is at that point. Where Star Wars, it's a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, right? So it can be completely fantasy. Well, it is completely fantasy. And, you don't ever hear in Star Wars them explaining how things work. Like why a lightsaber works, why a blaster works, why lightspeed drive works, or how it runs, and you know what I mean. Sure, I'm sure in some of the books they kind of explain it, but that is not common, right? That's auxiliary type stuff, and for the most part, all my Star Wars knowledge really only stems from some of the comics. I don't even think I've ever really read one of the books, and it's really just the movies and TV shows. That's it. And none of that do they go off onto any reason as to why this works or that works or whatever, right? Which was really kind of dumb when they went into episode 1 and explained that the Force was these microscopic little buggers in your cells that somehow manipulate the rest of the universe. And it's kind of, well, what? Like, how does little microscopic bugs in the cells of all living things exert their will on everything, right? Because how does that explain something organic moving inorganic objects, right? If it was not something more akin to something like telekinesis, where you're imagining moving an object through a use of gravity, or changing mass, or any of these other kind of basic ideas of principles. How does fantasy bugs in your cells move inanimate objects, right? How does it happen? Don't know. So, it's all, and it doesn't really need to be explained. In Star Wars, it doesn't need to be explained. And in fact, Star Wars should be just about the story, the characters, and what's going on, and, telling your story there. And Star Trek does the same thing, but they somehow manage to squeeze in this techno bullshit into it. And again, it doesn't ruin it, but it does appeal to certain audiences that, really want to know, like, how a supposed warp field is supposed to work, how, the bending of the space-time continuum would, change the outcomes of certain things. Like, it's just, you get into all these kind of pseudoscience type of things, right? Where Star Wars doesn't feel that necessary. And that's one of the reasons why I can enjoy both Star Trek and Star Wars, because Star Wars, it doesn't feel that need. Just, it's all pew pew. It's all spaceships blowing each other up and, stuff like that. And it's fun. It's just fun, And if you are not having fun with Star Wars, I question. But yeah. Matthias, some parts in Star Wars getting explained, like the Force, but I was happy with the old world where it was just the Force. Yeah, it was just the Force, right? It was just the Force. Okay, it was just the Force, whatever. What is the Force? Don't know. Does it really matter? How does it change how we understand how the characters interact with stuff? and how they move about the world, and the struggles of the character. How does explaining the Force make that better for the characters? It doesn't, because all it does is it adds more questions. Whereas if it was just the Force, okay, it's just the Force. What is it? Don't know. Nobody knows. It's a mystery of the universe. And pretty much everybody would accept that, right? Because we all accept pretty much any kind of mystery of the universe. That's the mystery of the universe, right? Why does this act this way? Why do stars do this? Why does light behave this way, right? It's the universe. It does that because it does that. Okay, well then that's the end of that. But then when you say, well, no, it's microscopic bugs in the cells of all living things. Well, what about non-living things? How does the Force manipulate from living things to non-living? What happens there, right? I can see living things against living things, sure, but he defines it by metachlorians are in microscopic organisms in all living things. So what about non-living things? Rocks, right? Metal. How does Kylo Ren use the Force to stop an energy bolt? How does that occur, right? So when you try to define these kinds of things, you end up just raising more questions. So leave it as a mystery, and you don't have to explain it. It just is. Because it's not important. The story is about the characters. It's not about the doodads. It's about the characters, right? But anyway, Matthias. My name is spelled Matt. It's simply Nordic version of Matthew. Can I still say Matthias? I didn't know I needed that. Or do you just want me to call you Matt? Matt? Like Matt? That's kind of boring. I like saying Matthias. That's fun. Matthias. No, I'm going to keep calling you Matthias. Too bad. I called it now. Too bad. Ghost Starman Deluxe. I mean, to be fair, they do explain lightsabers. It's all kyber crystals or whatever. Right, exactly. But whatever. It's the crystal. Well, what does the crystal do? Does it focus the energy? Does it release energy? Like, does it vibrate a certain way? Like, what does it do, right? So, okay, yeah, the crystals, add something, sure, right? But otherwise, it's not important. It's, describing something like that would be, and of course they talk about that in the Clone Wars because they want to protect the one place where they find a lot of these crystals, right? And so that's a storytelling device. That's why all the lightsabers are these crystals. Well, what's the importance of the crystals? Well, there's a sacred place that they go to find crystals. Storytelling, it's a plot device, right? And that's the reason why we know that there's crystals inside lightsabers, because it was a plot device, because they wanted to tell a story about the Jedi trying to protect a place that was sacred to both the Jedi and Sith and blah, 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 right? So, it's that kind of crap. That's the only reason why we know. Corby, my mom said hi, brother. Brother? Hi, Nat. Ghost Starman, doesn't matter how the Force works, it doesn't exist anyway. Han Solo said so. Right, exactly. Han Solo, he said he's flown from one end of the galaxy to the other end, and he's seen a lot of crazy things, nothing to make him believe in an all-powerful Force. So that's a man who's been from one side of the galaxy to the other and seen a lot of things. And he's telling you he doesn't believe in the Force. So there we go, right? So is the Force even real? Is it even real? Is it a myth? Right? I was going to go somewhere with that, but... Old man Logan. Hey there, Kris. Happy Saturday, dude. Happy Saturday, old man. Hail bop. Hey-o. Hey-o. War Pig Mint. Bunch of emojis. Hype, hype, hype. Hype, 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 hype. What up, player? What up? What up, player? Matthias. I'm still calling him Matthias. You can also say Matthias. I just wanted to make it easier. Easier? I was having trouble with your last name, actually. Bretter? Almost sounds like butter. Matthias Butter. That's your new name now. That's what I'm going to call you. He immediately turns the video off. He's like, no, fuck that guy. Ghost Star and Deluxe. According to certain images on the internet, the lightsabers definitely vibrate a certain way. They do. They definitely do, right? I mean, some of them, the wands, they just, which is why, you know, um, some of them have that setting on them called tooth chipper. They'll chip a tooth. They vibrate so hard, and you'll chip a tooth. So you gotta be careful. Anybody using those lightsabers, be careful. Be careful, for God's sakes, be careful. Old Man Logan, would Han be an anti-masker too? Yeah, that's where I was gonna go. Is Han an anti-masker? Maybe. Well, I mean, the guy has been from one side of the galaxy to the other. He's seen a lot of crazy things, right? Nothing to make him believe in an all-powerful force. Just a lot of tricks and nonsense. Nothing beats a good blaster by your side. Yeah, I've watched Star Wars one too many times. Yes, I would agree. I know you're all thinking it right now. You're all like, fucking Kris, you fucking nerd. You've seen Star Wars one too many times, dude. And I have. Hence the man with a lightsaber behind him, right? I mean, come on. And also get this here's, yeah. See, I'm not an anti-masker because I got my mask right here. See? I wear this son of a bitch. So there. Top that. I see you a lightsaber and I raise you a Vader mask. Although, mind you, I haven't really worn it out though. I have one in the car. It's just a regular black mask. I also have another one that has a medicine wheel on it. So I've got masks. Oh, I got masks. Believe me, I got masks. And when I go out, I wear my mask. Because again, I'm one of those assholes that's at risk of this shit. So, and I do not need to be getting it, and I do not need to be on a fucking ventilator, and I sure as shit don't really feel like dying from this bullshit. Mike Grimshaw, is the episode that you're talking about the one with Ahsoka and the younglings and the droid that go to Ilum? According to canon, the First Order turned that planet into Starkiller Base. According to canon. Now, the First Order turning that planet into Starkiller Base, outside of comic books and books, where do they even allude to that in the movies or TV show? Because if they don't, then I don't recognize it. I don't recognize it. Matthias, the last name. It is pronounced like brighter, actually means wider or bolder. It's German. It's Boulder? So you're Matt Boulder? That sounds like an action hero. That sounds like a guy who drives around in a red Ferrari. I'm Matt Boulder. P.I. That's a good name. Matt Boulder. I like it. Or Matthias Boulder. Matthias Boulder? That almost sounds like a James Bond villain. Matthias Boulder. He's not gonna talk to me anymore. He's gonna be like, this guy's fucking up my name. This guy's an asshole. Hail Bob. Reminder that Kris didn't choose orcs because he didn't believe democracy works. He picked Eldar, which means he believes the person with the pointiest long elf ears that gets visions should be in charge. Exactly, right? Because orcs, yeah. Aren't orcs democratic? No, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right, because we were talking about that yesterday. I was doing Discord chat with patrons yesterday, and yeah, we were talking about how basically democracy is kind of okay. This is for all you 40k nerds. You remember the lore about orcs? Basically things work because orcs believe it to work, right? So that's why all the crazy crap that orcs have, like their cars and ships and spaceships and all that, and all their technology works only because they believe it works, right? If they believe it works, it's kind of like Christmas and Santa Claus, right? You have to believe in it for it to work. And orcs are like that. Their guns, their ships, everything like that. That's the only reason it works, because otherwise it wouldn't work. They believe it works, right? And I was saying that basically democracy is the same way. Democracy only works as long as we believe it works. And these days right now, that's being tested. And so orcs, are they democratic? Are orcs democracy? hard to say because they have bosses and, you know, I mean, but you can still elect a boss and, you know, whereas Eldar, yeah, they just, you know, the person with, you know, who says, oh, I can see the future and we should go this way. And everybody goes, oh, well, okay. He's the guy with that badge that says he can see things. We're going that way. And everybody takes his word for it. Meanwhile, he could be steering them off into danger, right? Mind you, though, it's not just one guy that's doing that, right? I mean, it's supposed to be a whole council of all these seers who are all, you know, supposed to be seeing. So it's kind of supposed to be like, you know, Eldar is supposed to be, I guess, led by their elders kind of thing. Like, that's really kind of what it is. It's not like one guy. It's when they go to war that it's one guy and then the council is advising that one guy, and the one guy is making all the decisions. That's in war. War is, you know, is very short term as opposed to the Eldar playing the long term game, right? Eldar is supposed to be playing the long game. They're basically going to go hide out on the edges of the universe, wait till everybody's, you know, basically kill each other, and then come back and, you know, repopulate or something like that. I don't know. Again, it really doesn't need to be explained away because we can guess and we can, you know, we can create narrative within these loose bounds that all these things are. When they start defining everything, then we limit our imagination as to why these things would occur. And we would not, you know, by default, not allow these extra scenarios to occur because where it's outside of our imagination. Because no, the book said this and this occur, and so why would they fight? They would never happen, right? And so, like, see, again, they explain too much shit away, and it's dumb. It's all dumb. It's all dumb. It's made up stuff, and it just, you know, they shouldn't explain it all away. War pigment. So lightsabers are actually the best paint shakers. Well, you can get one of those magic wands, yeah, and use it like a paint shaker. Totally could. Do I recommend it? No. But you could. But I wouldn't recommend it. Mike Grimshaw, tooth chipper. Now we know what Kris is eagerly waiting for by sitting by the door. Yeah, the old tooth chipper. Waiting for a new tooth chipper. I already used mine up. The motor's all worn out. Matthias, that guy Han was just around in the wrong galaxy. Sure, yeah. Kevin Cabal, theory. Kris is a Sith Lord. Confirmed. I'm a Sith Lord? No, I'm not a Sith Lord. Corby, hey uncle, do you have Red Dead Redemption? Well, I don't. Jenna has it. She plays it. She plays it a lot. But yeah, she has it. Just look up Gamertag on Xbox. Well, you guys have got PlayStation, so I think there is crossplay. I don't know. Look her up. Look up the name. Mike Grimshaw. It's on the Star Wars site that Ilum was strip mined for its crystals and then converted into Starkiller Base. I assume it is some new Disney book. I never actually read them. Yeah, see, like a lot of times, like I don't get to read them. Again, I don't know. I just, you know, I mean, I like Star Wars, but you know, I don't need to live and breathe it. And yeah, says the guy who's got the lightsaber and Darth Vader mask, but and also something I've been waiting for that was on pre-order. If anybody who's been keeping up with pre-orders from well, it's from Hasbro, so I should give you an idea. Anyway, where am I? I'm lost. TH. Deathmatch of the day. Let's keep it under 120 minutes. Kris versus... Oh, do you guys know about Star Wars, kids? Kris? Do you guys know about Star Wars? Let me talk about some Star Wars some more. I know, it's kind of crazy where we bounce around to. Matthias, I would jump out of a red Ferrari anytime someone could give me one. Yeah. Send Matthias Boulder. Send Matt Boulder. Matt Boulder a Ferrari. Go ahead. Whoever's got that means, go ahead, send him a Ferrari. And if we're just sending Ferraris around, tippity toppers. I found out this week that my neighbor, who is a pretty good guy, is a bit of a masks don't really work kind of guy. So that fucking sucks. Yeah. I mean, like, it does kind of suck. I think, like, first of all, you don't need to badger them about not wearing it. Don't badger them. They'll eventually come to that realization. Oftentimes, it feels like a lot of people who lean that way have no real personal experience with this. And eventually it will. We'll all be touched by this fucking thing. And yeah. But yeah, just keep wearing your mask. Keep yourself safe. And of course, maintain distance. Especially if they're like a close talker. Oh man. Yeah, you're getting COVID for sure. If they're a close talker and they don't wear their mask, yeah. Yeah, it kind of sucks though, but I mean, to each their own. I mean, if they don't want to wear the mask, they're rolling the dice, man, right? I mean, you're playing the safer game. They want to risk their own life, and they risk the lives of their family and their friends, and and of course you as well, because they're your neighbor, right? But let them come to that realization, right? Don't have to badger them. Don't have to make them feel stupid. When they ask you over for a coffee, say, I'd rather not. I don't feel safe because you guys aren't wearing your fucking masks, right? So. That kind of thing, right? No fucks given. Orc politics is purely brutal meritocracy. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, pretty much. Delarso 11. We love the orcs because if they think of it, it can happen. If enough believe, trucks, Irving, and blowing smoke, and no engines. Love the orcs. Yeah, exactly. Right. I mean, it works because it works, and because they believe it works, right? Just like democracy. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Democracy doesn't work. Corby, bye-bye. See you later. Later, my boy. Delarso, hollowing out orcs as space vehicles and makeshift drop pods. Yeah, exactly, right? No fucks given. The best loots are the richest lootas. The best mechs get unlimited loot to build with. And the bestest boss gets all the boys and knobs to smash and loot stuff for the mechs. There we go. Mike Grimshaw. Let's hear Kris swear. Can we get a time check? Holy shit. It's already 1:15. You're right. I did swear. All right. Let's do an email. Just because we can, we shall, and we will. Yeah, let's go with this one. If you're wearing headphones, turn them up or down because here it comes. Email time. Email time. This one is from our good buddy Scott Radom. Fun joining you guys in on the Friday afternoon chat. Learned a few things. Heard some incredibly suspect statements as well. This is what I was working on. Need to add the head and figure out a base. It's a Blood Bowl orc blocker from Massive Dragon. Good times. Maybe catch you next week. Be well. And so let's have a look at Scott's work. So he's working on... Ooh, look at this thing. Let me switch cameras. There we go. So, it's a work in progress. So we won't be too critical. It's consistent with how he paints, right? Although... I will say the armor is in a more conventional way. Whereas... a lot of times the way Scott's been painting, he's been painting it like directionally one way or the other, whereas this is like more of a zenithal. See how like the vambrace on his arm, the highlight is towards where the light is. The shoulder pads, they're illuminated to upwards, right? This is a bit more of a conventional way of doing it, where a lot of people are doing it this way, right? I like the texture created on the blue armor. I like that. The flesh is really, really nice. I like a nice desaturated green. I also like a very saturated green on orcs too. I mean, orcs are, orcs are just a really fun opportunity to do all sorts of fun things. Because you can paint orcs really clean, you can paint them really messy, you can paint orcs, with pure, bright Christmas green flesh, or you can paint them subdued, where they almost have like a warm tone to them, and, they have a bit of warmth, and, I see, like, even in the shadows, it's more of a brown, it's not greens. I've seen this before, orcs done like this. I've even seen orcs, painted in various colors. In fact, I might even demonstrate it once or twice. Yeah, I like the blue of the armor, though. It's really nice. It works well with the green. I like the cloth on the arm and the bum cloth. Metallics look good. It all looks really good. I mean, it's it's consistent with how Scott paints. Scott's a really good painter. He's really good. Yeah, I like it. Have a look. Can we get a closer look? Yeah. Are you going to create a fluid inside the bottle? Is that one of the goals? That's going to be kind of tough with all the rope around it, but you can still do it. Yeah, I like the rust streaks running down the back. I like that. I like that, again, your weathering isn't feeling too uniform. There's a bit of asymmetry here, which is good, which makes it feel a bit more natural and realistic, when you have that asymmetric look to it. So thank you, Scott, for sending that in. Awesome stuff. I look forward to the finished piece, which I'm sure you'll be sending in at some point. Hell, you could be probably finishing it right now. Who knows? I don't know. Is Scott even here? I don't think Scott's here today. No, I don't think Scott's here. Tippity toppers. Can't wait to see the full team done. Yeah, that'd be cool. That would be cool. It would be cool. Okay, another email, because we can and we shall, and because we have a bunch. This one is from TH. Here's my 11th Blood Bowl team, and this time I finally got around to painting the humans from the 2016 box set. Was that box 2016? Really? Wow. Seems like yesterday. With most of my teams, I've tried to avoid using similar schemes to GW, but not this time. With these human models, I wanted to capture a classic GW look while still staying within my theme of using NFL color schemes. Thus, I painted up the New England Loyalists. I'm still not sure what standard I paint to. Mostly, I think it's about the total time I want to use on a team and how much play time it'll see. This team had a lot of models, and I don't really play humans, so I cut a few corners and dry brushed a whole lot. Still, I like how they came out. Yeah. I've pushed the colors a bit to avoid overlaps with other blue teams, but I think the reference comes through well enough. What do you think? Did I hit the mark? Are the blue Blood Bowl humans a classic callback or old hat? I don't know, old hat? Is old hat a bad thing? I don't know. Is this an English expression? As always, thanks for all the great content. Best, TH. So let's have a look at these humans from... Oh, yeah. These are... man, I was just talking to my son yesterday about how with the new nobles from the second season of Blood Bowl, how I was thinking of doing them in this Patriot scheme. Now, this is a more classic Patriots, right? Because it's got the silver with the blue and the red, although, it's predominantly blue. It definitely feels like the Patriots with the red accents everywhere and the silver on the helms and the red face guards. That definitely feels like Patriots. And yeah, it does feel a bit like the classic blue and white. That was the because I did my second edition Blood Bowl humans. I did them right from the box art, the Reichland Reavers. That's essentially what that color scheme is supposed to be, right? That blue and white. What's the head from on the guy on the right? I don't know what the head's from. Did you give the thrower the number 12? Yeah, I like the head swaps. They look like Goliath. I think with some of the players too, if you're going to go with varying skin tones, don't be afraid to go really, really dark. Because there's a lot of players who are, in the NFL who are really, really dark skinned. And there's some that are really, really light skinned too. I love that dude with the pot on his head. He's too much. Realistically, you should have did the Patriots. An entire halfling team, you should have did them as the Patriots. Because fuck them. But anyway. Yeah, I like it. It looks good. Yeah, I like it. It's Patriots, man. I mean, I like the scheme. I'm not too crazy about Patriots, but oh, that was the last one. I was trying to click more. Yeah, I like me likey. Yeah, it's good stuff. I don't have anything. It all reads really great. From the very first pick, I mean, yeah, it's the Patriots, the silver helms, the red face guards, right, and the blue and the white and red accents. Yeah, I mean, within the realm of Blood Bowl, it reads well. So yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, here we go. Anything in the comments here? TH, the alternate heads are from Necromunda. Forge World sells them loose. Okay. Gotcha. I hear you, man. I hear you. All right, another email. Because we can and we shall. This one is from our good buddy Legion Miniatures. Hey, Kris and monkeys. This week, I got a comparison between some Sicarian infiltrators. I originally painted them in the standard Red Mars scheme, but I switched my army to Metallica scheme a while ago. So I removed the red paint while keeping the rest of the old paint job and just added some spots of color and a few details. Best regards from Germany, Legion Miniatures. We just got the one pick? We just got the one pick. Oh, look at this. I like it. I'm going to assume the one on the right is the Legio Metallica, I should say. I thought Legio Metallica was the red with the hazard lines, the yellow and black hazard lines. I thought that was their color scheme. Because I would have assumed under that the guy on the left is Legio Metallica. And the guy on the right is not. I like the guy on the right, though. I like your work on the guy on the right. I like the weathering on the feet. He feels a little more connected to his little environment. I like the varying color you got going on in the base. It's not just Martian earth, but also some other tone. Looks like an orange in there, maybe. I like the brighter color with the darker metallics. I like the free-handed design on the helmet, and I like the purple. The purple is really nice. It plays pretty nicely with the red and the warmer tone of the armor, because the armor has a slight push towards yellows, and so the slight push towards purple, make the two colors appear that all the more vibrant, which is good, which is a nice choice. Yeah. Is he holding an MP7 with apparently a drum mag and a pistol mag in the gun? He's got two mags on his gun? Does that even make sense? It works because it works, because of sci-fi reasons, right? That's why. Guy on the right, I think, is much stronger. I like it. It's a little cleaner, too. But mind you, though, I mean, maybe the guy on the left was done a while ago, and where's your You're gaining mastery as time goes on. Is that what I'm seeing? Either way, really good work. James Kent. Afternoon, Kris and everyone. Afternoon. Terracotta. He looks awesome. Yes. Grim. Howdy, James. Howdy. Yeah, I dig it. I like it. And I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure the guy on the right is the Legio Metallica, right? Can at least somebody confirm that for me? Any of you Mars heads out there, tell me if I'm right about that or not. Yeah. No, nobody wants to tell me. Come on, tell me. Damn it. Don't keep me in suspense. Let me know. Do you want to go home? It's your home. All right, let's do another email. This one is from our good buddy No Fucks. Before a picture, I'll send where I get to once I hear the email song. What? Whoa, what is this thing? It is his Dreadnought. This thing's pretty damn wild looking. Okay, the big skull. I gotta ask, what's the big skull from? On the head. Where is that from? What is that? Is that from the terrain set? There's a big skull, I think, on one of the terrain sets. Is that where that's from? It's pretty darn wild. It's cool. I like it. And it looks like the shin plates look like from the Amble or Ambot. And the claws on the fingers. Holy crap. Those are cool too. Really fun conversion. I like this. I like the claws. I like the big scary claws. What are those from? Okay, dude, you got to come on, man. You got to explain yourself here. You got to explain yourself, man. What's going on? Oh, so this is supposed to be a Death Watch? Is that what he is? A Death Watch? I dig it. I like it. It's crazy. He's a big, chunky dude. And he is a lot of fun. No fucks. Yeah, the crane. Oh, it's from the crane? Okay. It is from the crane. Yeah, that's really good. I like that. I think the eye lens on the head, that lens could have been painted like in a brighter color. I don't know if I'd went with a red, maybe a green. Just a little spot of green for that eye lens. Just because you have quite a bit of red already at play on the model with the seals and the trim and the symbols and stuff like that. That eye lens, it could have pushed towards more green. Just so, the eye has more to play with. Just like how the blue claws really stand out. I really like your highlighting on the claws. You got a really nice grading going on there. Looking at it from the side, it looks like the black armor itself has a nice grading going on as well. The edging looks good. I think you probably could do something on that shoulder, the metal shoulder, like freehand in just text. Like, how like the Death Watch have just like the text all over the place, like on that shoulder. Just do something like that, Just simply write it in or add it in, I guess. I like the chains on the skull too. That's cool. It's a really fun conversion, dude. I like it. I kind of wish we had a look at the other shoulder. Because I see it looks like it's got a big scroll there, but like, did you write anything on the scroll? Either way, really good stuff. I like it. It's a lot of fun. And, whoop, there we go. Wrong cam. I like it. No fucks. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And, yeah. Yeah, das ist gut. Das gut. Skull and claws from the crane terrain set. Tyrannid skull from the skull box. Yeah, I figured that skull was from that big skull box because that's like the biggest skull in that set, right? I didn't know the claws were from. Oh, right. It has the little like the claw. Yeah, the little thingy, the grabber claw thingy. That's where that's from. Okay, very cool. That's very cool. I like that. That's a lot of fun. Matthias, from the side it looks even better. Yeah, it looks good. I wish no fucks if we could get like another look at that scroll side. Like, did you write anything on that scroll side, or is it still blank and you're just waiting to fill that in? I don't know. It is like the base didn't look finished, so I'm going to assume it's still work in progress. Yeah, but very, very cool, man. I like it. It's a lot of fun. The painting looked good. The front on facing, it looked a little hard just because of the lighting. It didn't look like we could really see, much of your painting on it. But from what I could tell, it looked pretty darn good, clean, and color where you wanted it. From the side, I could see your transitions in color, and your edging. Your edging looked really good, and so yeah, it looked really good. I liked it. Oh, you sent another update? Okay, cool. Well, we'll get to it then. We will get to it. What time are we at here? Holy carmoles. It's already 1:33. Jeez, we're right on track though for getting done in a timely fashion. This one is from No Fucks. This is another one from No Fucks. Okay. This is the Corpse Grinders and Ambot. That was it. That was the only caption to this. So here is the Corpse Grinder Ambot. Very, very cool. We're starting off with the back of the Corpse Grinders. The legs are what, from a Dreadnought? I like the color that you went with. It's almost what they do for the standard color scheme, right? That metallic copper color thing. And it looks like you went with a gray. I like that. The flesh is really, really light. Oh, I like the buzzsaw. How you got it, like it's like, he's in a swing and there's like blood spraying out of it. I like that. That's a nice touch. That's a really nice touch. I like that. I approve. like I'm sure you really give a shit about that, right? It's like, oh, wow, oh, fuck, he approves. Ooh, big whoop. Oh, okay, I see. You got like dreadnought bits along with the anvil. Interesting. I like the use of. I assume that is Hellbrute. That head is from a Hellbrute, or is it from an Obliterator? Either way, nice converting. The Buzzclaw arms, very nice. Yeah, very, very cool. For whatever reason, I talked about this in my update with the patrons. I've just kind of been really getting into the Corpse Grinders. I don't know, something about them. The very horror aspect of them. I like them. And it's different. I mean, like, I do a lot of Eldar collecting, but, it's kind of fun to diverge. And I highly recommend that for a lot of you out there who, might feel things are getting a little stagnant in, your collections and your hobbying and stuff like that. And, yeah, don't be afraid to diverge from, the established. Like, if you're an avid Space Marine player and collector and, do something else. Do something different. Start a Tyranid army, right? Or, whatever. Like, just do something a little bit different. It does have a tendency to re-energize and motivate you to do other things. And also, because, for example, like, I always end up using the Space Marines as an example because so many Space Marines out there that for example, if you're a Blood Angels player and you're painting Blood Angels and you're painting a lot of red, it's nice to take a break from that and maybe paint, I don't know, a lot of metallic, paint Necrons, right? Paint a lot of blue, paint some Ultramarines or some Eldar, you know what I mean? Like, just change up the game and change up the pace and, yeah. No fucks given. I will do a lot of freehand for the scroll and silver arm. Cool, yeah. For the silver arm, Like if you want to do it like the Death Watch, right, where it looks like there's words written, there's a couple ways you could go about it. The easiest way to go about it really is kind of plan out what words you want to say there. I would probably just use up that entire flat face. I would not really worry about the sides that have like the purity seals. I would worry just the flat face, and I would find just a few words that fit within that space. And realistically, I would probably try and like line up where the where you want your lines are. Take a fairly measured approach to it, and then write your words in. But then in the negative space, fill it in with black, and then re-pick out edges in silver to match your armor, right? And that should be about the easiest way. But yeah, set off little lines where you want your text to run through, and then even just look at the shoulder pads and see what words they use, and just duplicate that and just fill that in. And then for the scroll, I think what would really sell it is you ever see some like old scrolls, even like medieval stuff where like the capitalized letter, make one letter real special capitalized, and then just do the little little squigglies and stuff like that. And then of course you can have like the imperial symbols, or even the Inquisition eye on it, all sorts of stuff. I'm sure you probably already have that in mind, but yeah, I'd go for that. No fucks. Kit bashed with obliterator parts. Okay, it's obliterators. Okay. I gave these guys to Nova for charity auction after me and my brother finished the campaign. Oh, cool. That's nice. That's good. You're a very generous fella. Time for another. Let's do a jingle. Let's do an email jingle just because. Let's do this one. If you're wearing headphones, turn them up or down. But here it comes. Email time. Email time. This one is from... Oh, no fucks given. Jeez, you sent a bunch in. Good grief. I should have just kept them all going. This is Techno Heresy. Be damned. Sikaris gives no fucks. He'll steal your shit and use it against you. Oh, this guy. Yeah. We had a look. When did we have a look at this last time? Or was this on Discord we were talking about this? I don't remember. But anyway. Yeah, I like the shield. I like all the little heads. I feel like we've talked about this guy, though. I like the cloak. You got the Necron-y bit. He's got the big Necron axe. Now, if I was super logical, I like your work on the shield, or his shoulder pad. Really nice. I like the fire. For character pieces like this, do not be afraid to spend a bit more time picking out those edges, clearly defining some details. Yeah. I think with like Necron technology, at least the way it looks to me, it looks like it's powered up from the Necron himself. It's kind of like Tyranids, how it's a symbiosis between the warrior and the weapon. And I think I view Necrons in a similar kind of light, that because you see like some of their weapons, it's the cabling comes from them and goes into their weapon, which means that the weapon is powered by them, right? They power their weapons. And yeah. Oof, we got another big one here. No fucks given. I sent the DW captain. I forgot if I shared it last week. Yeah, forgot. Yeah. Time blends together when I'm on call. Yeah, well, I mean, it happens, man. But yeah, I'm pretty sure we talked about that, because I remember seeing that shield, because you threw the skulls on it and everything like that, and yeah, you used the Necron bits and stuff. So yeah, I do remember that. Alrighty, let's do one from somebody who's not no fucks. This is from Derek. Fire Drake? Yeah, Fire Drake, I did. Hello, Kris and fellow monkeys. Just another update on Marvel Crisis Protocol. I retouched a couple of the models, and yes, I was doing a pre-shade with the black undercoat, but also a slight dry brush of white. I was going to go over it with some contrast so certain raised areas would be brighter, but I hadn't done it by the time I took the photo, so hopefully Daredevil looks a little better. I also went mad and attempted an OSL with Red Skull. Help! Thanks for taking the time to look at these painting projects and critiques are always welcome. Fire Drake 18. And so we're doing a bit of OSL on Red Skull. All right. So OSL can be a challenge. Now, if you have an airbrush, that can make this job a little easier. Now, I don't know if you do, but yeah. Okay. So, when doing OSL, the best way and easiest way I always find it is, you know what? I'm going to turn on this. And how do I do this again? Damn, it's been so long since I've done this. I don't remember how to do this. I have that stupid draw ability. Was it enter this? Yes, it was. There we go. All right. So when you're doing OSL, the easiest way to go about it, here, let's pick, well, I guess we can stay within white. Can I only pick these few colors? Oh, this is Garbo. Anyway. So when doing OSL, typically you always want to imagine, a circular thing where the light is building in intensity as the radius extends from your light sourcing, right? Now, these are all rough circles because I'm drawing with a frickin' mouse. But I think that you kind of get my meaning here. So, with a really intense blue around the cube, if you were to do a bit of that same intense blue as the cube, which I wouldn't do exactly the same. It'd probably be a little bit more saturated blue rather than pure, closer to white. I think I would leave the white for doing highlights on the cube itself and then have that intense blue be the cube. Like the level of intensity on the cube itself I'm looking at, pretty much makes sense. But, so like the fingertips would catch a lot of the light and possibly even between the fingers if you really wanted to get nitpicky about it. Is there another angle that we can view this by? Let's see here. No, shit. So, like, for example, like I can see like over the shoulder. It would be really nice if we had like kind of a 3/4 view where with the cube and the arm, we could see the light transitioning through. But see how like the light is on his shoulder, and you see how it kind of wraps around behind. Light wouldn't do that. Light travels in a straight line. If you were going to have that much blue intensity on him, right? So, because like imagine like a sphere around the cube. That particular color is a sphere. The second ring, right, is another sphere, and this would be another sphere. And so the further away from the source would be that particular color band. Does that make sense? So on his jacket and on himself, realistically, you'd be at that third color band away from the source of light. So it wouldn't be that intense. And also, you have to think about the material itself. If it is a shinier material, that means more of the color would not be visible. And in fact, the edges would actually have more intensity to them as they're reflecting that light. But you would see more of the black cloak, but the color of the highlights and such would be more intense. Does that make sense? Versus if it was a matte where not much light is reflected, right? Because because something that is matte is absorbing light. Something that is glossier surface is reflecting more light. I hope this is making sense. What I like, though, that is working well is the skull, is his face. The intensity on his face feels about right. And on his coat, it shouldn't be quite that intense. I feel anyway. And in fact, like I said, so imagine the intensity coming from the Tesseract. Imagine it in spheres and think of it as colors. So you're creating those gradients emanating outwards from that sphere. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Let me see here. Is Fire Drake even here still? I don't see him. No, I don't see him. Okay. So anyway, next pick. Daredevil. Yeah, Daredevil looks a lot better. It's a little cleaner. Yeah. I don't really quite remember what he looked like before, but I'm going to say he looks better. Yeah, there was something about his whip last time, right? I don't know who this character is. The Skeletor? Is that who that is? Is this Skeletor? Nice work on the cloak. The blue. Did you freehand that Punisher, or is that like the Punisher symbol, or is that sculpted on? It's just a very, the relief. Is the pants camo? Is that what's going on there? I like it. Iron Man. Iron Man, I think if you're playing with contrasts, I think you should have went with metallics. Should have sprayed him just with pure metallics and then just hit him with the red and yellow contrasts. Personally. I mean, if you did that, it doesn't read that way. Black Widow, I'll assume. Ooh, Dr. Octopus. Ooh, Ghost Rider. Ooh, nice work on the flames. That's really good. On like from the exhaust and the tires. Yeah, that's good. That's Ghost Rider. Yeah, that's really good. I like that one. Is that it? Oh, that's it. Aw. I was just getting into those. So hopefully, that kind of made sense with the Tesseract. I kind of wish we had like because you see how like we got the shot over his shoulder, right? And we're looking at it. And then we got the head on where his hand's like that. I kind of wish we had more of this angle so I could see how the light was playing across the surface. I kind of wish we got that. But, no biggie. Hopefully the explanation works. I don't know if you... I thought you were here. Were you not here? I thought you were here. Evan Belleau, Taskmaster. Taskmaster? Who's the Taskmaster? Oh, that's who the character was? Taskmaster? Is that who it is? I don't know. I have no idea, dude. I mean, like, my experience with Marvel is mostly X-Men. And, some of the movies. Oh, geez, you sent us more picks. Okay, no, fuck you. We got... Time we had here. We got 9 minutes left of the show. Woohoo! We are on schedule. And this is the last email, right? Last email? This is the last email. Last email. We're doing this. We're going to do this right now. This is from No Fucks Given. Got a few phone calls during the stream, but because I'm on call, but here it is. I do plan to do a lot of freehand on the scrolls. And so let's have a look. We got some close-ups now. Oh, the eyeball is green. See, I couldn't tell from that from the forward picture before. There we go. Yeah, okay, so you do have green. Okay, excellent. Excellent. Very good. You could probably hit that with gloss. Make that look stand out a little bit more. Because he is venerable, right? He's a venerable dreadnought kind of thing. I don't know if that's still a thing, but You could also incorporate chipped armor, right? Just a couple chips. You could go about it. There's various ways to go about the chipping of armor. You can paint it on. You can sponge it. Again, pick your flavor. I do really. I like the claws though on the hand. That's a really great idea. Yeah, I really like it. It's a lot of fun. I like that big skull on there. That's really cool. Oh, okay. I see. I see. The scroll. You have the chains running across. Yeah, that can be a bit of a hindrance just because you kind of have to paint around it, but I'm sure you'll figure it out. I do like the chains though. That's a nice touch. Yeah, das ist gut. Yeah, I do like the green lens on the eye. Yeah, that's excellent. Um, the shin pads that look like from the Ambot. At least I think they're from the Ambot. Oh, you got the crotch. The crotch has a scroll as well. Ah, yeah. That one's gonna be a little bit tricky to get to because you got to work so far in, right? Because you have those arms protruding forward. You're gonna have to work further away. So that might be a bit of a problem. I don't know if you can detach the scrolls and then reattach them. You know what I mean? So take them off, paint them, and then reattach them. I don't know if that's something you can do or if you're comfortable doing. I would give it a try. The shin guards, though, excuse me, they look like they're a gray, or did you paint them a metal? I think I would have probably just painted them like the rest of the body, just black. Just because I think you added those, right, to add a bit of gravity because they felt so top heavy, right, with all the skulls and the big claw and everything like that. And then he has these little chicken legs, right? So I assume that's why you added those plates. Are they knee pads? Are they attached to his knees? Attached to his knees. I think that's why you did it. If they're knee pads, it would be kind of cool if you left them dark, or you could even did one in a red with like the Inquisitor eye on it, if you're really feeling ambitious, or even those little shapes that are under the upper and lower portions of it, if those were picked out in red, and if you had like a squadron number or something like that freehanded onto that knee, I think it would be kind of cool. I think if one of the knees was red with like the squad marking or the Inquisitor eye on it or something, I think that would be cool. Yeah, you got a lot of freehanding to do here, though, because you got those two scrolls and the shoulder pad. But I think you can handle it, right? I mean, I'm seeing some really great painting here. Um, yeah, yeah, I would do with one of the knee pads a red, or do both pads black, but with those little things. I don't know what the hell they're called. Wait, let me go back to this. Can I go back to this? I can't go back to this. Can I? I can. That little shape right here and this little shape, right? If those were picked out in red and the entire pad was black, right? And those were red, or the entire pad was red with like an Inquisitor eye in it, right? A little eye. Sorry, I'm poorly drawing here on this picture here. But I think you get what I'm saying, right? No fucks? Yeah. Sorry, I'm playing around with this. I always forget to turn this on when I'm doing the stream. I always forget. Always. Always. Just always. But anywho, thank you, No Fucks, for sending that in. Awesome stuff. And yeah, we are all caught up on the emails. 4 minutes left of the show. Oh my God. We are on schedule. We're on schedule, people. Where am I here? No fucks given. Claw recipe is duraluminum base, white edging on the claws, 2-3 layers of Talisar blue contrast paint, and then some dry brush magic blue and white mixes. Cool. Mostly it's airbrush Corvus black with some blue-gray edge highlighting. Once I get the rest done, it'll be using black oil wash in the armor and some browns on the skulls and scrolls. Okay, cool. I want to do most of the weathering after everything else is done. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, just be careful. Matthias, all those paintings are great, honestly. Yeah, I like them. I mean, so many of the monkeys are so talented. And, what I really enjoy is when people who've been, paying attention to what I've been talking about for years. It's fun when we look back at like what they used to do and what they currently do, like how they used to paint and how they currently paint. And it's really fun seeing the differences, and, and of course, for all of you out there, the more you practice, the better you're going to get, that's really about it. It's just practice. And of course, paying attention and learning and exploring and playing and, of course, you're going to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to make mistakes because you learn from those mistakes and it's going to make you a better painter, believe it or not. It's not just bullshit I'm saying here. No fucks. Was thinking of a red stripe on the black knee and a Templar cross in white. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Or if you want to keep that theme going. Although the Templar cross, because when they're Death Watch, right? Like, if you're going to stay within the theme, the Death Watch, 90% of them is purely Inquisitional Death Watch, right? So they have all the motifs of that. And they're only allowed that one shoulder to display where they come from, right? So that's why I was saying, do it red with an Inquisitor eye, because, again, they've signed over to the Inquisition for a job, and you know what I mean? So, I don't know. Again, if you want to put Templar cross in there with an Inquisitor eye, go for it, right? But, yeah, that's all I was just thinking of. Again, when they clearly define these things, right, it kind of narrows our vision, whereas if you weren't sure of that kind of thing, you just kind of go all over the place, right? And and personally, I think that's a lot better, when you just kind of just go wherever and do, whatever it is, right? Matthias, I'm painting the red corny strictly chaos space paint at the moment, but I'm just a beginner. Yeah, well, again, beginner, intermediate, advanced, whatever. It really doesn't matter. Just put forth the effort, and gather as much knowledge as you can, But the important part, I think, and I think a lot of people forget this part. It's not just enough to watch a whole bunch of tutorials and read a bunch of books and, you know what I mean? And theorize on a lot of this stuff. And it's not until you put it into practice, right? It's not until you actually start employing those techniques that you truly get an understanding of, glazing and edge highlighting and dry brushing and, blending and, all these different brush techniques and stuff like that. And even using your paints, right? We can sit here and talk about this paint line is better than this paint line because of this and that reason. Again, those are all completely subjective, but you aren't truly going to understand why people say those things until you actually employ the techniques and things, what they're talking about, and see it for yourself. And you go, oh, okay, I get why they don't really like this paint for this particular task, because it acts like this when you break it down. And, all these different reasons, right? So, again, painting, it's entirely subjective, right? And so many expert painters out there all vary greatly in their use of said techniques and materials. And because, again, it's entirely subjective, and it's entirely how we learn it and how we employ it. But the really important part, though, is it's not really going to, bake inside your brain until you actually start employing it, That is really key. Bum 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 bum. No fucks, Matthias for corn look at Marco Frazzoni Corpse Grinder tutorial. It shows the metallic style painting. Okay, it's what I use for the ones I sent to Kris. Yeah, well, Games Workshop did a video on how to do the corpse grinders, like how they painted them, right, with that kind of deep copper look. But yeah, you just look and watch that. How I did my corpse grinders is completely different. Because I wanted to play within the theme of what they were, not where they are, right? I wanted to play with how they got to being these murderous psychos, right? That's far more interesting to me than we're blood for the blood god, and or no, they don't. They were or sinew for the sinew god, that's kind of boring. Like, evil for evil's sake is boring. It's more interesting to play within the whys and the hows and how they come to these decisions that they do to begin apparently murdering a bunch of people, right? Again, Dark Uprising is a great place to tell scary ass stories. It's a really, really fun. I enjoy Dark Uprising, and I mean, I've been a fan of Necromunda for a very long time, and it's really, really cool that there's still areas where this can go and be interesting, right? I like that. That's one of the things I like about Necromunda, that even on one world within the Imperium of Warhammer 40,000, one world can tell a whole bunch of different stories, right? And so imagine all the different stories you could tell within Warhammer 40,000 on various worlds. I used to really, really enjoy the idea that I don't know if they still describe it this way in the current lore, but in older iterations of Warhammer 40,000, they always describe the Imperium of Man, right? When they go off to other worlds and find out lost, planets of humans, the humans would regress or advance or whatever from the point in which they left humanity, right? So some worlds, the humans were barbarians and cavemen, right? And some worlds, they were techno and, advanced, and it was, whatever, right? It was like Star Trek, because that was one of my favorite stories in the Imperial Guard Codex, the second edition Imperial Guard Codex. When Solar Machirius is expanding, he encounters a world with humans who have, apparently, they describe it as hyper technology. And of course, the humans keep the Imperium at bay until finally, I'm pretty sure, Machirius uses basically mass drivers and, bombards their planet. But anyway, I can't remember where I was going. You had the various levels of technology within the Imperium. And so I often thought it would be fun that you could even tell a story of the Imperium with our current surroundings, because many worlds within the Imperium would probably be at the same level of technology that today people, right, the world we currently occupy, would look like a world within the Imperium. I'm sure there'd be many worlds that would look just like our world today and would be at a similar level of technology, and you know what I mean, and that kind of thing, right? There would be worlds where it was Conan the Barbarian, and there's worlds where it's, Star Trek, right? And everything in between, right? That was the fun part of Warhammer 40,000 for me, reading those kind of, that idea that the Imperium was all these different things. And so when the Imperium shows up to a world that's all full of barbarians, well, they go, well, it's all full of barbarians, they're not really doing anything. But there's some great, livestock around here, some great farming opportunities, and the people are barbarians. We can probably make those guys into Space Marines, and you know what I mean, and we have more soldiers, and it's make up whatever damn reason you want. I mean, it's just a fun idea to play around in, right? So yeah. No fucks given. The campaign is amazing, even just to read it. Probably my top 5 story arcs from 40K. Yeah, definitely. It's definitely one of those like scarier things, right? It's like anybody who was missing the grim dark of Warhammer 40,000, read the Dark Uprising. in Necromunda. I mean, that's just disturbing, just the ideas that it conveys, these guys who are just loading these bodies and just chucking everybody in. And of course, the idea that, it's Soylent Green. All of Necromunda is, being fed off of Necromunda, right? I mean, it's all crazy. It's crazy, and it's fun, and it's scary, and I mean, and that's what fun sci-fi can do, is explore these crazy ass ideas. It's a lot of fun. So, if you are watching this after the fact, you need help with the color scheme, you are a commission painting service, or want to show off what you're working on, submit your questions to Kris@waveofthebrush.com. It is in the description below, as well as a link to waveofthebrush.com, central hub of all this silliness. Has links to all the social medias, as well as Discord. Join us on Discord. It's a lot of fun. We keep the conversation rolling there 24/7. So join us on Discord. If you really, really, absolutely need your questions answered, feel free to ask. We have a channel for just questions and answers. And everybody, it might not be just me answering, it might be somebody else. Because a lot of the monkeys, they've been listening to me yammer on about stuff. And of course, they've garnered a huge amount of experience. You can pretty much take their advice to heart as well. So again, it's a very helpful space. It's a area in which I'm quite proud to say that it's very helpful. It's been very inclusive, and yeah, sometimes we talk crazy crap, but I mean, we talk crazy crap on this show all the time. So it's a bit like this. It's this. At waveofthebrush.com, you'll find a link for t-shirts. Of course, you'll also find shirts down below in this video as well, if you're watching this on YouTube. On Twitch, we don't have this kind of function where we can sell merch on the video. But yeah, so apparently I didn't know that apparently I could do this already. So yeah, if you just look down below, there's t-shirts available there. And it's the same ones. If you go to waveofthebrush.com and search through the shirts, although you'll get more access to more shirts there. So yeah. And hoodies and things like that. I'm thinking about adding other kind of merch, like, other stuff. So keep an eye out. I do get an idea, and I think, oh, well, maybe I'll have these available and stuff like that. So anyway. Also at waveofthebrush.com, you'll find a link for Patreon support. Huge thank you to all my patrons. Without your support, these videos and this channel would not be possible. So a huge, huge thank you. I'm independent. That's how I keep these things up and running. And so if you want to help the channel grow and become better, Patreon's how it's going to happen. So a huge thank you to everybody, and everybody who's considering supporting. There are varying tiers of support, and all have their perks and fun stuff, and yeah. Of course, if you're not able to support monetarily, i.e. money, thumbing up the video, liking, following, subscribing, sharing, and commenting, all that stuff helps the video and channel grow as well, because it's interaction. It basically feeds the algorithm god, and that's why we do it. It's just for the algorithm. And as soon as they change the algorithm, then everybody will start talking about other crap. So, just be warned. Big thank you to Carl, a.k.a. Guymere Alfer, a.k.a. Beer and Blood Bowl. That's his YouTube channel. Check him out. If you love yourself some beer and you love yourself some Blood Bowl, we always take the time to thank Carl, even though he is no longer with us, for taking the time out of his busy day to create the email jingles that play before the email segment of the show. So always much love to Carl. And of course, speaking of love, much love to my baby brother, Evan, for creating the intro, outro music that plays at the beginning and end of the show. So always much love to my baby bro. And of course, if you're into rare comics, check him out. EB Comics in the description below. He's got the hookup. He's got your hookup. If you got some, he'll have that collection from way back in the day. And you know what? Geez, I'm missing this issue. He might be able to hook you up. He might. I'm not saying he will, but he might. Nah, he probably will. Now I'm putting him on the spot, because people are going to ask him, you got this one? Do you got this one? He's like, no, I don't got that one. Oh, wait, no, I don't got that one either. Anywho, Matthias, great show. Keep it up. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. And yeah, I think we're done. We're done. Any other words of wisdom? I don't think we have any other words of wisdom, right? No? Maybe? Yeah? No? Yeah? How about you in the back? You? No. Not you. Him. No? What about her? Nah, she had a question. What did she want? No, not her. The other one. Put that down. No. Take care of your brushes. They'll take care of you. And I will see you guys in the next episode. The next episode. Maybe.